We are live in Palm Springs from Palm Springs Stadium. Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda will be on the call this morning, or morning for us.
Afternoon for most people.
Afternoon for some others. Out here on the West Coast, 10 a.m. Never too early for baseball. It'll be the Palm Springs Power taking on the British Columbia Bombers. The Bombers will be the visiting team, wearing their yellow tops, white pants. Power will be the home team, red tops, white bottoms. All these guys wearing their California Winter League hats that they're issued through the equipment managers down here who work very hard. Obviously keeping these guys' stuff clean. The Power come into today on a 2-game win streak as they look to keep up their momentum here in the California Winter League. 2-1 for them, and the Bombers as well are 2-1. So somebody will come out on top, and whoever that is, they'll be leading the California Winter League after this game.
Yeah, there's currently a 4-way tie between these teams. The Bombers, Chill, Lumberjacks, and Power. And this is where it starts to open up a little bit as we have our leadoff hitter, Yusei Teraoka, and going down will be Jones in the 2 spot, Cruz in 3, Alboret behind the plate in 4, Schneider, Prad, Caulfield, Donady, and rounding out is O'Neill. And again, Sato will be pitching for the Bombers. Going from left to right in the outfield, it's Lucci, Barcena, Jubilee. And then in the infield, Caroline, Keaton, Page, and Johns. Foster on the mound, and Barnes behind the plate for the Power.
Bryce Foster deals a fouled straight back. This is the lead man, Yusei Teraoka. Smaller lefty for the Bombers from Japan. Bryce Foster, a taller fellow on the mound. Foster stands at 6'4", 190 pounds. Lifted off to the left side, giving chase over there is Robbie Carling, the third baseman. He takes a look at it and watches it go foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes here early on to the lead man, Teraoka. Power again coming off a 2-game win streak. They did not play yesterday. Playing here today, this ball fouled away, so Teraoka continues to battle. As the sun still finds its way towards the peak at the top. Blue skies today, no clouds. Another beautiful day in Palm Springs. This ball outside on a fastball. Teraoka taking 2 balls and 2 strikes, trying to be the lead man here. He doesn't even step out of the box, ready to go as Foster looks in, takes a deep breath. Arms set, swing in the pitch. This ball is drifting into center field. Out there to make the play is Ronnie Keaton, the shortstop, making the play over the shoulder on the run for the first out here in the top of the first.
Not only the first out, but that would have been the first hit for Yusei Teraoka of the Winter League. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And still, that elusive first hit is just out of reach for Teraoka.
We are now in day 5 of the California Winter League, so most of these guys are starting to settle in, but there still are a few guys that have struggled to find their footing so far. And I believe Keaton dropped the ball, so Teraoka is actually at first base.
Oh, so it is a drop ball.
Couldn't really tell with the glare out there, the way the sun hits this grass. It kind of gives that almost reflectiveness that you would see with the snow. In snowy parts of the country, that is. We don't have to deal with that out here.
Not unless you're on the top of the mountains.
Dre Jones is the hitter, the righty, swinging and missing here. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Then correction to my previous call that Teraoka will have his first hit, a base hit to lead off the inning for the Bombers, and it's Dre Jones now.
Runner moving, the throw down is going to be in time. The catcher, Landon Barnes, getting the start today for the Power in place of the usual Casey Combs. Barnes shows off the arm there and cuts down Teraoka. So that is the first out here as Taroka is cut down. Barnes showing the quick pop time there. Foster dealing, swing and a miss. Dre Jones is way late on the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes with Jacob Cruz on deck. The power hitting lefty. First it's Jones though, swing and a miss. Waving at that one on the fastball. So Foster has his first strikeout of the morning.
And Dre Jones, that's 4 strikeouts on the year for Jones. Still without a hit, but now it's Jacob Cruz. He's batting .667. He's got 4 hits. He's got 2 singles, a double, and a home run. 3 RBIs, and scored twice this year in 2 games.
This ball is lofted in the air high down the left field line. Giving chase over there is the third baseman, Robbie Carling, who ends up kind of stumbling over the bullpen mounds, which do play a factor here on balls down the line in foul territory. Almost fell over, and kind of reminiscent of almost the Houston Astros. They used to have that hill out in center field.
Yeah, the grassy, no, not the grassy knoll. I forget whose knoll it was, but
Neither here nor there. Always funny to look at the little nuances of each stadium. This stadium, pretty standard. The funny little nuances of this one, I would say, are the dugouts, which are quite literally dug out about 15 feet into the ground as Cruz hits it foul straight back. I mean, you go down there towards the bench and you can't even see the field. That's why most of the guys they sit outside the dugouts here at Palm Springs Stadium, giving themselves the best look at the field.
they'll climb up on those wooden planks and just hold on to the fencing there. Not a lot of room on those planks.
This is an old stadium built back in 1949 as Cruz goes after this one. Shallow right center field, giving chases the right fielder, and it drops. Josh Jubilee couldn't make the play. Second baseman up with it. That's Marcus Page, and he picks up his right fielder. He throws out Jacob Cruz, who was trying to extend it into a double. So that will be the third out for the Bombers on Cruz trying to extend it. A heads-up play by Marcus Page going all the way out into shallow right field, and the power will get out of it. No runs across, 2 hits for the Bombers. We'll head to the home half here in the first in Palm Springs. Back here in Palm Springs, Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda will be the home half of the first here with the Palm Springs Power coming to the bat. No runs in the top half for the British Columbia Bombers. Lead man for the Power will be Willie Barcena. And on the mound for the Bombers, it'll be Yu Sato. Sato has pitched in 3 games so far. This will be his first start of the year, though, as he pours in strike 1 to Barcena. Sato has pitched 3 innings so far. 3 earned runs allowed, only 1 strikeout for the guy from Japan. He is a righty as Barcena goes after it. Popped up high on the infield in foul territory. That'll be the catcher for the Bombers getting turned around. That's Averett, and he makes the play. One of their better players for the Bombers, and quickly out number 1 here in the bottom of the first.
Number 12.
Defensively for the Bombers, left to right in the outfield, Schneider, Taroka, Jones. Infield, Caulfield at third, Brad shortstop, O'Neill at second, and Cruz at first. Again, Averett making the play behind the plate, and Sato on the bump. The lineup for the Power, we saw Barcena lead off. It'll be Page, Johns, Barnes, Caroling, Keaton, Jubilee, Gayton in the DH spot, and Lucci to round it out for the Power.
Marcus Page is the batter. The righty digs in. A quick first 2 strikes from Sato. Page quickly in the hole, 0-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Sato deals off speed, down and away. Page gets a good look at it and takes for ball 1. Sato, again from Japan, pitcher from Nihon University. Fastball, splitter, curveball, and deals low again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and even count.
And Page batting 143. He's got 3 strikeouts, only 1 hit and 7 at-bats. That just being a single.
We'll see if his heads-up play defensively turns over to some offensive prowess as he takes down and away. It'll be a full count here, bottom of the first. And the Power with 2 straight wins after they were shut out on opening day. Casey Dill rallying his troops. Here's a full count pitch. Swung on and missed. Outer corner. And Sato records the strikeout for the second out here in the bottom half of the first.
A great pitch there by Sato, the fastball. Throwing off ball. Marcus Page.
Number 25.
And now there's 2 outs.
Gavin Johns.
I'll bring up Gavin Johns,
Okay, Gavin.
who has been very productive at the plate for the Power so far this year. 2 extra base hits, a double and a triple for the righty, as he now stands in. Trying to get something started with 2.
He's got 3 runs. He's batting an even 500.
Big swing and a miss as Sato powers the fastball right by him.
And those extra base hits put him up in slugging at 1.25, and his on-base percentage is at 667.
Johns awaits. Swung on and fouled straight back. That time he was on the fastball, but couldn't make solid contact. He's a California native. 24-year-old. He's played all over the place. A couple of different junior colleges. Takes outside. 1-2 is the count. JUCO national champion in 2016. And swinging and fouling back. One thing is for certain that you'll get out of Yu Sato on the mound. Probably the loudest grunt from a pitcher. Almost reminiscent of Zach Greinke.
Yeah.
Hear it a lot in tennis, and then it'll be kind of sparingly throughout baseball. Sato works from the stretch. Takes a long pause and now deals a 1-2. This ball is lifted foul off to the right. We'll do it over again for Johns.
This is the first game Sato starts. He took the loss yesterday against the Chill. He's got an ERA of 9 and only 3 innings pitched. So looking to flip the script here after yesterday's tough game where he allowed 3 earned runs on 1 hit, and he even hit a batter as well.
Sato nods, kicks, deals, breaking ball, misses upstairs. Couldn't stay on top of that one. And Johns has now worked it to a 2-2 count. Johns coming from a good background in baseball, that's for certain. His uncle Dick Mills pitched for the Red Sox. His cousin Ryan Mills was a 6th overall pick in the 1998 draft for the Minnesota Twins. Here's a pitch that clips the corner. Sato freezes up Gavin Johns. Back-to-back strikeouts for Yu Sato in the bottom half of the first, and the Power go down with no hits and no runs. We are scoreless as we move to the second here in Palm Springs. A scoreless frame in the first will take us into the second here. It'll be the catcher Felix Aberrett leading off for the Bombers. The right-handed hitter, a professional player in the United Shore Professional Baseball League, swinging and missing strike one. Bryce Foster again on the hill for the Power, who have gotten some good pitching as of late. This ball taken inside on a fastball, 1 strike.
Aberrett still hitless in the Winter League, but he's got 2 RBIs on 2 strikeouts and 7 at-bats as he takes strike 2 looking.
Pounding away at the zone there. And it's 1-2 to the big righty Aberrett.
And Bryce Foster also 4 innings pitched, got the win on Saturday.
This ball is jolted into left. Will it stay fair down the line? And it is just foul.
Oh, that is a long foul ball. Missing the chalk line by, I'd say, inches.
That ball was hammered down the line in left, just out in front of the fastball by a tad. He was an all-star in his professional league and the home run champ. He would hit 9 home runs and batted .269 in that United Shore Professional Baseball League.
And we saw the power right there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Foster deals, ripped down into the third baseman's glove. Did he catch it in the air or on the hop? It doesn't matter. The throw across is in time. And that'll be the first out of the inning. That was Robbie Carling, the third baseman over there, making the play.
Yeah, that's a line out to Carling, the call made by the home plate umpire. And Carling doing the right thing, throwing it over to first to make sure that he gets the out anyways.
So here comes one of the most dangerous hitters in all of the California Winter League in Griffin Schneider. This guy is on an absolute tear right now. He has 7 hits to lead the CWL. 2 doubles and 2 triples out of those 7 hits.
He's leading the league with a 700 batting average, slugging's at 1.3, OPS an even 2. He's got 4 runs. And, he's just absolutely killing it here today.
Probably the most dangerous middle of the order of any team in the CWL between Jacob Cruz, Felix Aberrett, and Griffin Schneider, at least from what we've seen so far. Foster gets ahead of him, though, here. It's an 0-2 count as he kicks and deals. This ball grounded over towards the right side. A good pickup over there by Marcus Page, who makes the play, sliding to his left. And Schneider is cut down. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the second.
Schneider just got beat on a great play there. Most guys get eaten up by a hard ground ball there, but Page smooth with it, being able to stand up and get the step and throw over to Johns at first for the second out of the inning.
Marcus Page has already made a couple of really good plays in this game. He made the heads-up play in the first on the ball that was out to right field. He would throw out Jacob Cruz, who tried to extend into a double, and now he makes a good play, a web gem on the infield on the ground ball. 2 balls and no strikes to the hitter, Clifford Prod. He will be the shortstop today. Foster looking to go 1-2-3 again like he did in the first. A nod, sways into the windup, throwing off speed, a swing and a miss, 2 balls and a strike to Prod.
Prod's first game on Saturday on the 22nd, walked in every at-bat, and then he was 0 for 2 on Monday.
Moving quickly here, ball is in on the hands, hit out to shallow left. Robbie Keaton makes the play, running into left field. The shortstop for the Power squeezes it. 3 up and 3 down, a real quick inning for Bryce Foster. No runs across for the Bombers, no hits either. We're still scoreless here as we move to the home half of the second here in Palm Springs. Back in Palm Springs, move to the home half of the second with the Power coming to the bat. This will be Landon Barnes, the catcher. Again, relieving some of the duties of Casey Combs, who has started every game behind the dish for the Power, but Barnes getting the nod today. Barnes is typically a shortstop, so not typically a position that you would see mix in some catching duties, but showing off the versatility today as he takes ball 2. 2 strikeouts for Sato in the first, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Sato has been working off of that fastball real well here early on as he deals a fastball here. Grounded over towards the right side. Picking it up and making the play over there is Bradley O'Neill, the second baseman. And he makes the routine play for the first out.
Stepping up to the plate, number 29, the third baseman, Robbie Carlin.
Robbie Carlin's going to step in. He's 667 on the year with 2 hits, a single and a double. In the only game he's played on Saturday with an RBI and a run, and 1 strikeout and a walk.
Carling awaits the first pitch, taking all the way on a strike. Sato is painting that outside corner with conviction here early on. It's a 1-strike count to Carling. Sato deals, and again painting that corner.
He's living out there. That's free real estate.
If he keeps it up, he's going to run out of paint in the paint jar by the end of this inning.
Gonna have the clubbies give him some more.
No comes set here, working pretty quickly. A long pause at the top, and a swing and a foul tip. Squeezed behind the plate by the catcher, Aberrett. And quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the second.
3 pitches, 3 strikes. That's out number 2. Incredible. Sato is lights out today.
Looked like he went with the splitter there as the ball just kind of disappeared at the end.
Okay, Ronnie.
That's typically a very tough pitch to throw, or at least control, that is. As Keaton digs in and swings at the first pitch, comes up empty, and it'll be 0-1.
Sato's right back at it. Throwing strikes.
An 0-1. This pitch outside, it looked like he went back to the splitter. Or the splitty, as some would like to say. Always love the nicknames that you can give pitches in baseball. That was personally my favorite, the splitty. This ball is fouled straight back.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Good old splitty.
I've heard Uncle Charlie, the Cheddar, 12-6.
The big fish hook
Yeah.
for the breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball outside, tails away. Sato has some decent arm side run on the firm stuff. Outfield playing relatively shallow for Ronnie Keaton, who is the shortstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Diggs. This one out of the dirt was Aberrett, or trying to. It scoots away. Guys on deck getting their early run in, chasing after the foul balls, trying to move the game along with a good pace of play. As Keaton awaits a full count pitch. Hit in the air. This ball is going to run out of real estate, though, into the stands over on that third base side. Some fans trickling in here still early in the morning, or relatively early in the morning out here in Palm Springs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is relatively early. But, it's nice to see the fans. A lot of people trying to enjoy their winter. Don't really see baseball too much during this time.
Bounding ball over to the second baseman over there. That's Bradley O'Neill, who takes care of Robbie Keaton. So another 1-2-3 inning for Yu Sato. Early on here, a pitcher's duel. We'll see if that changes as we move to the third inning here in Palm Springs. Mitch Glessner back here with you in Palm Springs alongside Andres Tejeda. Move to the top of the third, a relatively quick-paced game so far. Good pitcher's duel between Yu Sato of the Bombers and now Bryce Foster, who comes back out onto the hill for the power.
And Bryce Foster, a 0 ERA. He's got a win in 4 innings pitched. allowed 3 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. This is the first time he starts in a game, and he is definitely putting on a show.
Strike 1 to Caulfield, who's the lead man for the Bombers, trying to set the table and get something going. The visiting team Bombers do have 2 hits in the game. Looks like Caulfield broke his bat on that one. And now he searches for his best friend as he walks over to the dugout, picks one out. We talked about giving nicknames for some of the pitches. Guys in baseball, they're definitely the most superstitious. They'll even name their bats, their gloves.
It's quite the culture of baseball.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Caulfield takes outside. The lead man, Foster, on the hill.
Caulfield is batting .400. He's got 2 hits, both singles. He's got 2 RBIs and 2 runs.
No runs across for either team. We're still knotted up at 0 a pop. A bunch of goose eggs on the scoreboard so far. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count to Caulfield. Foster deals. Got him looking. Another strikeout looking in this ball game. This will be the 2nd strikeout for Foster, and quickly 1 away here in the top of the 3rd.
Stepping up to the plate, number 10.
A great punch out there. Like you said, when we entered the inning, it's been a pitcher's duel. Foster, 71% of his pitches have been thrown for strikes out of the 32 pitches he's thrown. He's definitely killing it now as he gets him swinging for strike 1.
Swing and a miss on Donity. It looks like he changed up on him. Donity all the way from Virginia, the 23-year-old, swinging and fouling straight back.
So we got 1 hit in the Winter League thus far. Came yesterday against the Chill. And 1 RBI as well.
Foster rocks and fires and misses. Down and away, gets approval from Landon Barnes, who wanted it down and away. So Foster hitting his spots. This ball is hit into right field. Barely having to move is Josh Jubilee, the right fielder, who takes care of Donity on the routine fly ball. Quickly 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. No score.
Next up for the Bombers, number 22, the 2nd baseman.
O'Neill's going to step in, double 2s. He's got 4 strikeouts, no hits. And he reached on an error in yesterday's game in the 4 at-bats he had.
So O'Neill takes outside, this one just off the plate. This is the 13th season for the California Winter League. And a foul ball here. Palm Springs Power. The Palm Springs Collegiate League and California Winter League all kind of fall under the same umbrella. An organization started by Andrew Starkey, who does a tremendous job around here. Always has his hands full. Foster missing inside with the breaking stuff. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild. No score, top of the 3rd. O'Neill, the 9-hole hitter, trying to stay alive. A defensive swing from him to stay alive on the ground ball down the first base line, but foul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, staying alive, and I think you mentioned it in between the breaks. He has been busy at second base. Well, both second basemen have, as he gets plunked right there and off to first.
So Foster gives him a free pass, hitting him on the shoulder with a breaking ball, so at least it was somewhat cushioned by the off-speed stuff, and that'll turn it back to the top with Yusei Taroka.
Number 3,
1 for 1 today, but he was caught stealing after the base hit to lead off the inning.
Led off the game with a base hit, but then was cut down, caught stealing by Landon Barnes, who showed off the arm. Some pretty good defense so far here in this ball game, something that we haven't really seen consistently yet from any team in this league, as Foster puts this one right down Main Street for the first strike of the at-bat on Taroka. Working from the stretch now, finds his footing and deals on a slide step. Misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 down here with Bradley O'Neill at first. The Bombers hitting here in the top of the third. Taroka, the lefty, crowds the plate just a tad as Foster checks on the runner. Just trying to keep tabs on him over there. Not really sure what O'Neill's speed is, but he takes a very short lead. Foster set with the hands low at the belt. Pitch. Ball is lined back up the middle. A dive by Ronnie Keaton, the shortstop, but it hits off the webbing of his glove and into center field. A good piece of hitting there by Yusei Taroka to now put Bradley O'Neill in scoring position here with 2 outs in the top of the third.
Absolutely great effort by Keaton just to get a piece of the leather on the ball. But it just kicks into center field, and Marcelo will corral it and toss it back in.
So Taroka extends the inning here. And now it'll be Dre Jones. The Bombers trying to work it back into the middle of their order, which is so dangerous. We've already kind of touched on that. They possess a lot of power in the middle of their order. And these guys are not afraid to go after it and be aggressive early in the count as Jones was there. Swinging and fouling off the first pitch that he sees. No balls and no strike with 2 outs. Foster trying to get out of the jam. Took something off on the slider there. A swing and a miss from Jones.
This is the toughest position that Foster's put himself in, and that started with the hit batsman and O'Neill, and then the single on the line drive by Taroka.
Jones fighting to stay alive as Foster deals. Off speed, this ball is hit in the air to center. Moving in on it is Barcena on a jog. He makes the routine play. And that'll be the 3rd out in the top of the 3rd. No runs across for the Bombers. We're still scoreless here as we move to the home half of the 3rd here in Palm Springs. We move to the bottom of the third here, scoreless. No runs for either squad. The Bombers with 3 hits at least. Power still searching for their first hit of the ball game, as it'll be Josh Jubilee to set the tone and taking ball 1. A new pitcher on the hill for the Bombers. This is going to be Max Peterson. He replaces Usato, who went 1-2-3 in the first and the second. He exits with 3 strikeouts. A good start from Sato. So we'll see what Peterson can do as he deals a strike here to Josh Jubilee.
Sato finishes with 2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. As you said, 64% of his pitches for strikes on 28 pitches. Max Peterson, he comes in with a ERA just over 2.
Ground ball, routine play. That's the shortstop over there, Clifford Prod, and he makes the play.
Peterson also has a win. He won against the A's on January 22nd on Saturday. He allowed 3 hits on 2 runs. Only one of those runs earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Getting ERAs 2.25 with a whip of 1.
Pretty understandable to switch out your pitchers fairly often in this league, as these guys do not get an off day until the Super Bowl. There's a bunt attempt for a base hit by the lefty Andrew Gayton, and he'll have to do it over again.
Andrew Gayton and I were actually talking earlier today, both of us from the Chicago area. He's from the suburbs. We were talking about how cold it is in Chicago right now. -9 and 9 inches of snow in the last 2 days. So we were both pretty happy to be here in the warm weather where nothing but clear skies and 70-degree weather.
The windy city of Chicago. Swing and a miss. One of my favorite cities in the world.
Definitely one of mine.
One of the coolest cities in all of the country, really. You always get a good mix of big city feel and small city feel when you're there.
Yeah.
Real passionate sports fans.
So many sports to keep up with out there.
Andrew Gayton takes outside. We're close enough here to the LA area. Plenty of sports, that's for certain, out in LA. There's plenty of everything in LA.
Well, the entire state of California has been buzzing with football last weekend.
Gayton swings and misses. Down on strikes he goes. And 2 quick outs here in the home half of the third with no score here in this ball game. We're just close enough to LA that you can make the trip out there, and as well as San Diego. Both of them are about a 2.5-hour drive, 3-hour drive for us.
Maybe make a trip out there on our day off, or we get out early and get some quick games in. Go out there for a night out.
Here is the 9-hole hitter, Jake Lucci, who takes strike 1.
Lucci's batting .500. He's got a run, an RBI. Got a hit at some point. Apologies, OBS is 500. He does not have an official hit yet.
Ball is hit in the air. That'll be the left fielder coming in to make the play, Griffin Schneider. And he takes care of it easily as he moves in to make the play in left. Another 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Power in the third. No score still here in Palm Springs. It looks like Foster will come out again for the Power as the Bombers look to score some runs. Still scoreless here in Palm Springs. Back in Palm Springs, Mitch Glessman alongside Andres Tejeda. Still scoreless so far, Andres, as both pitchers, starters that is, Foster and Sato, work very quickly. And working quickly again here is Foster, grounded on a couple of hops to the first baseman over there, Gavin Johns. Takes care of the lead man, Jacob Cruz. One pitch and one out.
Yeah, the efficiency in the pitchers today. We were just talking about it during the break that Max Foster or Max Peterson got out of the inning in only 9 pitches.
So a pitching duel so far as Felix Aberret stands in, the righty with power in his bat. Takes ball 1, trying to unleash some of that thunder here as he takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes. He's put himself in a good spot here. A line drive single for him his first time up, and he also had the long foul ball. Hits it hard on the ground this time to third. Moving to his right is the third baseman over there for the Power, Robbie Carling. Makes the backhanded play and throws out Felix Aberret.
Now the dangerous Griffin Schneider coming up.
Griffin Schneider, that is, the righty, who has been prolific at the plate. He looked human for one of the first times in a couple of days in his first at-bat, grounding out to second. Takes inside. Schneider doesn't look huge in stature either, but it tells a lot about his ability to control his swing and control it with power. Not huge in frame, but he does possess some power in that bat. So Felix Aberret provides the thunder. Schneider provides the lightning. Hits in an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grounded. 2 hops to the shortstop, Keaton, who handles it. The throw pulls off Gavin Johns. And we'll get our first error of the game, the throwing error by Keaton. And now the umpires will converse to talk over if Gavin Johns was on the bag or not. For right now, it would be an error.
I think they're more concerned about if he got the tag, and he did get the tag, and so that'll be out number 3.
So they talk it over, and instead of being an error, it'll be the ground out to short, and that'll do it. Another quick one for Bryce Foster, who has it wheeling and dealing here in this ball game. We are already moving to the 4th. No score, and the Power still hitless as well. More baseball coming to you this way after this break. Back in Palm Springs, Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda. We move to the home half of the 4th. This will be the lead man, Willie Barcena.
Barcena.
He's 0 for 1. He fouled out to the catcher his first time around. He takes ball 1 here. Max Peterson on the mound after USADA got the start, as Barcena tries to set the table here. Lefty with the hands very low in his stance, taking outside. 2 balls, no strikes. 4 strikeouts as a team for the Power, who have gone 3 up, 3 down in all 3 innings so far. Peterson trying to continue success. Working behind here, check swing foul off the bat of Barcena.
I think he hit the ball twice. It bounced off the plate and hit his bat.
I've actually seen that a couple of times. I don't remember who it was in the major leagues. I'll never forget that. They hit the ball. It might have been Harper, actually. Hit the ball twice in a home run.
Yes, that was definitely Harper.
If anybody has a flair for making cool stuff happen, it's Bryce Harper. This ball is hit in the air on the left side of the field. Griffin Schneider, the left fielder, over, and he makes the play towards the foul line in shallow left field. First out of the bottom half of the 4th here with no score. Barcena flies out to left.
The second baseman, Marcus Hayes.
Bryce Harper has a flair to make anything look cool just by his hair alone.
He's had quite some hairstyles in the past few years, starting off with the mullet. Remember that one?
Oh, yes. That is huge in today's game, as this ball is ripped into left field. A base hit from Marcus Page. The first hit of the game for the Power, as Page is aboard here with 1 away.
And swinging at the first pitch he sees, and like you said, getting the first hit of the first hit for the Power here in the bottom of the 4th.
So now the Power can exhale a little bit,
Gavin
as
Johns.
Peterson was working to go 1, 2, 3 again. 1 strikeout so far for the righty, as Page takes his lead at first. The hitter is Gavin Johns. Strikeout his last time, lifted foul off to the right. Always fun to look at the trends in baseball. I feel like it was early 2000s to about 2010. It was the real short buzz cut hair. Now guys go into what I call kind of the Patrick Mahomes type of hair, and then guys that can just really rock the mullet. Serious in the front, party in the back.
I think it's Jazz Chisholm who has dyed his hair into like 3 or 4 different colors as the season has progressed. I've seen it blue, I've seen it pink, I've seen it green.
Ball inside to Gavin Johns. We need some flair out here. Can one of the equipment managers get some hair dye? We'll have hair dye day here at the ballpark.
Do we have a hairdresser sponsor? Because I think the guys would love that.
I don't know, but if we do, I surely need to use them.
Yeah, it's going to be a long month, and I'm sure a lot of different things need to be done, as looks like Alvarez has some equipment issues with his chest pad.
Speaking of equipment manager, get us some hairspray and get us a new
Chest protector.
chest protector stat. So Aberrett will put some new gear back on. A lot of blue gear for the Bombers. Guys in that dugout playing for their various squads outside of the CWL. A lot of these guys do bring their own equipment. Johns will hit here with Page at first. No score still in this ball game, 0-0, bottom of the 4th, as Peterson checks on Page. The Power have put the ball in play at the very least, but nothing to show for it so far. Again, Page at first with the first hit of the game. Runner starts, pitches inside, swung on and missed. Throw down, not in time.
Oh, that was so close.
Felix Aberrett put it right on the money. Bradley O'Neill with the universal, how is that not an out? Hands out to his side. So it looked like the throw beat Page, but he has a stolen base, and now he's in scoring position for Johns at the plate.
That was a bang-bang play, and good on Pratt to get the tag down, but according to the second base umpire, infield umpire, Page beat the throw and was able to touch the bag.
This ball hit into left field. Dill is going to wave around Page. Here is the throw from the left fielder, Schneider, and Page is cut down by about 6 feet. Not even close. Schneider gets the outfield assist. Moving up to second on the throw is Johns, but a heck of a play by the left fielder Schneider coming in and cutting down the run.
A great throw by Schneider. Not only can he hit, but he can play the outfield. And that keeps the game scoreless between these two ball clubs.
So Schneider, who we've talked about offensively, shows off the arm in left field. And typically you don't see a tremendous arm from a left fielder. But this time Schneider shows it off. Typically your strongest arm will be in right field. And left field kind of follows after that. Center field, usually your speedster, guy that can really burn it. Every now and then you'll get some unicorns like Andrew Jones, who could really play everywhere and had a cannon of an arm, or a guy like Ichiro.
Mm-hmm. Give Yoenis Cespedes that one play when it was down the third base line, and almost a great diving play there by O'Neill. He'll pick it up, fire to first, but it'll be not in time.
Not in time. It's a base hit for Barnes, and Johns moves up to third. So we almost saw back-to-back web gems there. O'Neill on a dive, it hit the palm of the glove, but Barnes is rewarded for hitting the baseball hard, and now runners will be at the corners for the 5-hole hitter Robbie Carling, who digs in 0 for 1, a strikeout his last time up. 3 base hits in a row for the Power, who came into this frame hitless. They are still scoreless, though. Both teams scoreless. 0-0. Now 3 hits for both squads.
I want to see what the exit velocity was on that line drive by Barnes. Got the flight scope there, but I wish we got that information.
About put a hole in the glove of O'Neill. This ball is hit foul. On deck, Keaton trying to get some extra practice on grounders. As now Aberrett steps out from behind the dish to give a first and third defense. With how strong his arm is, I wouldn't be surprised if they just try to throw down all the way and try to cut the runner on a stolen base attempt. Peterson comes set. And a 1-1 count. 2 down. Outside. Aberrett can't squeeze it all the way. It was outside regardless for the second ball. 2 balls and a strike. 2 away. Bombers looking to get out of this little jam. Hopping around at second is O'Neill as Peterson comes to the dish outside on a ball.
It'd be very impressive if they can put up another donut. 4 scoreless innings. You saw apologies, we're getting an update here on the velo. That was 90 miles an hour on the exit velo on that line drive by Barnes.
A good barrel, if you will. As this ball is taken inside on the 3-ball 1-strike count. Carling will be aboard at first, and now the bases are juiced with 2 away, and now out to talk to the man on the mound will be Tom Bate, the manager for the Bombers. Trying to calm down Peterson.
Keaton!
And the thought I was having that I couldn't get to when we got the update was Bryce Foster getting into that jam earlier in the 4th inning. Now we're seeing Peterson here kind of struggling a little bit as well. But like I said, it'd be impressive if they could get another 0 on the board.
Ronnie Keaton grounded out to the second baseman his first time around. Peterson will look to get out of the jam. Some pretty good defense on display so far this inning from the left fielder Schneider, who saved a run earlier. Still no runs in this game for either squad. Peterson set and ready to go. He deals inside. So Peterson electing to still work from the stretch, as most guys will go back to the windup with a runner on third, and in this case, bases loaded, electing to stay out of the stretch, though. Keaton awaits a 1-0, tapped foul.
Keaton has yet to have any contributions to his team. He has only one at-bat. Not get a hit, but he did score on a walk. Going to help his team out here.
Boy, the Power would ever need a clutch base hit here in the bottom of the fourth to end the scoreless drought. Pitch on the way, outside high on a fastball. Keaton, the lefty, as mentioned, 0 for 1. Trying to keep the line moving after a walk from Carling. Grounded over to first base under the glove of Cruz. And now into right field and fumbled around by Dre Jones. And two are going to come across to score. And the Power now have the lead 2-0 on the ground ball by Keaton. It looked like an error by Jacob Cruz under the glove. And a play that he would have liked to have back. And 2 runs come across because of it.
And so there's going to be a double for Keaton. Apologies, a error on the first baseman. This one's lined to the shortstop, Pred, and that'll be the inning.
So 2 runs across on the air, and the Power lead at 2-0. We'll head to the 5th here in Palm Springs. Move to the top half of the 5th. The Power now lead it 2-0 after 2 runs in the bottom half of the 4th. Bryce Foster still heads out to the hill. He got the nod in the start for the Power. So far, so good for him. A breaking ball to start out the lead man, Clifford Prod. Just 2 strikeouts for Foster, but a plethora of ground ball outs. This ball is laced into left field. A base hit for Clifford Prod. Picking it up in left is Jake Lucci, who throws it back in to Marcus Page.
Stepping up to the plate, the third baseman.
A good piece of hitting in there from Prod.
Caulfield.
Splitting the third and shortstop. Getting it started for the Bombers as they're down by 2 on that error that brought in 2 runs.
4 hits now in the ballgame for the Bombers as Foster checks on the runner at first. And the way that this game is going, it's feeling like it really could just be the difference of a couple of runs in this game. depending on how long Foster is out there at least. Slide step to the dish on a breaking ball and called a strike. We'll see how Landon Barnes, the catcher, does behind the dish. Again, typically a shortstop. Foster really checking on Prod over there. Try to look at the stats here on Prod, who has 1 stolen base so far. Decent lead, about 6 feet, as this ball is fouled straight back. No balls and 2 strikes. Foster working to hold the runner well, mix up his looks, mix up his timing. Ready to go as he receives the ball already on the rubber. Shakes off the first sign and now finds one that he likes. Set and ready to go. A long pause this time. A couple of looks over the shoulder. Deals. Grounder. Towards the shortstop, Keaton. On to second for 1. Over to first for 2. Twist it up and stir it up. I'll have 2 of those. A double play. Keaton to Page. On to first to Jones. 6-4-3 on the tailor-made double play.
And great job by Keaton to pick it up, fire it over to Page, and good on Page to get his footing and fire it over to Johns for an accurate double play.
So Foster gets another ground ball out as Brett Donady stands in. So far, that is 6 ground ball outs for the right-hander. 2-0 the score, the Power lead it. And a breaking ball, cut on and missed. Foster keeping his infield engaged by working quickly and pounding the zone with strikes. Deals this pitch outside and a swing and a miss on another slider. Foster really relying on the secondary stuff as he works quickly again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Deals the pitch, breaking ball, and it is hit foul in the box. Some action in the bullpen for the Power. This will likely be Foster's last inning of work. Trying to get Donady here in a 2-strike count. Upstairs, they'll check down to first. Donady barely offered and no swing called. It's one thing all these managers need to do is manage their pitching staffs. Not huge pitching staffs for any of these teams as Foster deals. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Foster is dealing in this game as he throws another scoreless inning for the Bombers. The Power lead it 2-0 as we head to the home half of the 5th with the Power looking to add on to their lead here in Palm Springs. We got a good one on our hands here. The Power lead it 2-0 As we head to their half of the frame here in the bottom of the fifth. This game has been a pitcher's duel. USADA got the start for the Bombers, and since then it's been Max Peterson. Lead man for the Power will be Andrew Gayton. He's the designated hitter. Peterson came in the third and quickly worked through a 1-2-3 inning in that frame. This past inning, though, in the fourth, gave up 3 straight base hits, a walk, and then an error by Cruz at first cost him the 2 runs. Hit in the air to left, moving to his right easily is Schneider to put away Gayton for the first out here in the bottom of the fifth.
It'll be an 0 for 2 day thus far for Gayton. He struck out and flew out now. And it'll be Jake Lucci coming
The
up.
left fielder, number 3.
So Jake Lucci will stand in. He led off for the Power against the Grizzly. That was yesterday in the afternoon slot. In that game, he was 0 for 2 and RBI. 3 walks, though. So Lucci definitely knows how to work his way on base. Skies this one on the infield. Shading the sun over there is the third baseman in foul territory, Andrew Caulfield, and he drops it. So an error by the Bombers will give second life for Lucci.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know how he lost it or what happened. It seemed pretty routine, but Lucci's back in the batter's box, and they'll do it one more time.
Lucci, as mentioned, one of those guys, he just kind of has a knack for knowing how to get on base, knowing how to work a walk. It's a unique talent to really possess in today's game with a lot of free swingers. 0-1, he spits on this pitch outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Max Peterson on the hill. Will deal a 1-1. Tapped foul off the shoulder of Lucci in the box. 1-2.
Lucci trying to stay alive. One of the older guys here at the California Winter League. A lot of wisdom right there that a lot of the young guys are going to take advantage of.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Peterson deals outside on a breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lucci, definitely a leader figure for that Power squad. Was a guy who started his own company as the founder of the Lucci Prospect Camp. Swinging here, fouling it straight back. So Lucci serves as a mentor towards young athletes. The guy from McKinney, Texas. Lucci is 32 years old, but successful outside of the baseball diamond. Obviously doing great things in the community, trying to move his community forward in their athletic endeavors. As he taps this one towards the second baseman, moving in and to his right is Bradley O'Neill, who picks it up on a couple of hops and throws out Lucci at first for the second out.
Lucci, a guy who plays the game because he loves it, obviously, as you said, 32 years old and still out on the diamond.
Number 27, the center
Still
fielder,
trying to make a
Willie
difference.
Garcia.
Lucci played, or has played all over the place. Most recently, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs this past year. Hit in the air, first pitch swinging. That is Willie Barcena. Calling off everybody is the shortstop for the Bombers, and squeezing it for the play is Clifford Pride. A scoreless home half of the fifth. The Power still lead it, though. 2-0 is our score as we move to the 6th frame here in Palm Springs. 2-0 is our score as we head to the 6th frame here in Palm Springs. Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda in our 5th day of the California Winter League. Both of these teams came into this contest with a 2-1 record as these teams settle into their daily playing days here. This will be Bradley O'Neill to face off against a new pitcher on the mound. That's going to be Jacob Espedia. So a solid start for Bryce Foster, who went 5, 3 strikeouts for him. 3 strikeouts, no runs allowed, 4 hits.
They pitched really well, 65 pitches, 70% for strikes. You can't ask for a better outing than that.
His ball hit off the end of the bat, but down for a base hit in front of Josh Jubilee in right field. So a base hit for Bradley O'Neill, who is now 1 for 1 in the ball game.
Another threat comes up to the plate. Yusei Teraoka. He is 2 for 2. He flew just beyond. He had a fly ball beyond the shortstop and a line drive up the middle.
Yeah, hit the ball hard his last time up. O'Neill does a good job of turning the lineup back over for the lefty. Espedia deals from the stretch now. And this ball is upstairs. Espedia comes into the game, 1 game pitched, 3 innings of work, 6 walks in those 3 innings. So trying to find his way into the strike zone as he steps off the rubber and throws over to check on O'Neill. Again, still very early. Coming into this game, the Power have only had 4 different pitchers pitch in 3 games to give you kind of a picture of how much of premium pitching is in this league as he throws a wild pitch here that allows O'Neill to walk into second base.
Time on the field, and the first baseman, John's going to go speak to Espedia real quick. I don't really see a defenseman other than the catcher really go and talk to the pitcher. Have time. So he says a few words and off back to first base he goes.
Yeah, typically you'll see the shortstop or the catcher go talk to the pitcher, just kind of reassure them, get them back on track. Keaton holds the runner at second. Now he bounces back, and Espedia deals home. This pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Nobody out. 2-0 the score. The Power lead at top of the 6th.
Espedia's only pitched 3 innings. Did that yesterday against the Lumberjacks. We walked 6, unfortunately, but had 3 strikeouts. None of those walks led to runs, and none of them earned. He has an ERA of 0, but the whip is at a solid 2.
Yusei Taroka, one of the smaller lead men.
He's fast.
Exactly, the speedster. Height and weight, a non-factor thing in the game of baseball, as Taroka is cut down on strikes here, chopping at that one and not being able to make contact. 1 away here in the top of the 6th.
Espedia eliminates the threat of the 2 for 3 hitter. Dre Jones 0 for 2 coming in trying to make something happen for his team.
Jones hit a lazy fly ball out to center field his last time up. Struck out back in the 1st. Hits with a runner in scoring position as Espedia deals outside for a ball, 1-0. The Bombers looking to take advantage of O'Neill in scoring position.
Shortstop was looking at man on second.
Here's a ground ball to the third baseman. Looking back, the runner at second is Robbie Carling, who takes care of Dre Jones at first. So the Bombers unable to move up to third base on the ground out to third. And there's quickly now 2 away after O'Neill was on to start out the inning.
Great defensive prowess there by Carling to run O'Neill back on as he's making the play. He basically caught the ball on a bounce in the shortstop position, but ran O'Neill back, causing him to dive back into second and then still having time to throw out Dre Jones at first.
Jacob Cruz, the power-hitting lefty, digs in, taking off speed for ball one. Cruz could definitely change this ball game with one swing. He already has one home run here in the California Winter League. That was the first home run that we had seen so far this winter. A lot of pop in the bat of the lefty, who takes upstairs for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes as he finds himself in a good hitter's count.
Like you said, 1 for 2. He had a fly. He flew to right center field for a base hit and then got caught up at second. He was trying to stretch a single into a double.
2-0 in there for a strike. Cruz must have been looking for something else. That looked like it was over the plate. Instead, it'll be 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Bombers trail by 2 runs. Cruz looking to get at least one of those runs back as he takes outside. 3 balls and a strike, and now this will get interesting with Espedia behind in the count. He'll have to come to Cruz here.
Yeah, Barnes tried to frame that pitch on the outside part of the plate, trying to get that second strike for Espedia, but it's 3-1.
Gets a strike here on the outer corner. A good pitch from Espedia. Nothing Cruz could really do with that one. And it's a full count.
I think Cruz is going to sit on a fastball here.
2 away, Espedia deals. Downstairs, ball 4. Good patience by Cruz to draw the walk, and he'll let Felix Albaret come to the plate now with a runner at first and second. Good power still in the bat of Albaret. The Bombers are not done this inning, trailing by 2 runs.
Mitch, look who's on deck. If Albaret can get on.
That would be Griffin Schneider. Albaret has shown pop in his bat, though. A home run threat, taking strike 1 from Espedia. O'Neill runs fairly decently. He's in scoring position at second, with Cruz now at first. Espedia works, kicks, deals. Strike 2 called.
In every at-bat that Albaret's faced, he's at least had a strike thrown to him, even on that ground ball to third base.
Espedia looks up at the scoreboard and now looks back home. Off speed is low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the dangerous hitter in Albaret, who is so far 0 for 2, but he's made a couple of loud outs. Swing and a miss. Up and in. Albaret couldn't catch up, and he is cut down on strikes. Espedia comes up clutch with the strikeout for the 3rd out of the inning, and he leaves 2 men stranded for the Bombers. Powers still lead it 2-0 as we head to their half of the inning in the bottom of the 6th here in Palm Springs. 2-0 our score as we head to the bottom half of the sixth. The Power lead it
12, Marcus
on 3 hits. 5 hits for the Bombers, who are still scoreless. And the lead man will be Marcus Page, the righty for the Power. Swinging and missing. Strike 1.
And Marcus struck out his first time and then had a single into deep left field and then had a stolen base as well.
Yeah, he got the rally started for the Power in the 4th, which is where they scored both of their runs in this game. Page singled, Gavin Johns singled, Barnes singled, and then later, due to an error by Jacob Cruz, Johns and Barnes would come across to score the 2 runs. Still Max Peterson on the mound for the Bombers. Check swing, but it's called a strike anyway on Page, who now hits in a 1-2 count. Our second game of the day today will be between the Canada A's, who are winless, against the Lumberjacks. This ball hit in the air to center field. Taroka turning and running, and it is going to get over his head all the way to the warning track. And the ball is cut off on the throw back in. It's a leadoff double for Marcus Page, who put a charge into that baseball.
Honestly, off the bat, it didn't seem like much, and then I see Taroka getting further and further away, and Marcus Page hitting to the deepest part of the yard, all the way near to the 400 side. That's definitely a 390-plus foot ball.
It really did not look like it had that much pop off the bat. It wasn't very loud, as normally you would see in a ball hit that far, but Taroka just kept running and running.
They ran out of room.
Just could not get there, obviously, on a deep fly ball. This ball runs too far in and hits Gavin Johns on the hip. And quickly, 2 men aboard here. And the Power showing some signs of scoring again here in the bottom of the 6th, trying to add to their 2-run lead.
Now batting, number 5,
And it'll bring up Landon Barnes.
Landon Barnes had a single, 1 for 2. He came around to score the second run for the Power. And looking to add some more runs to their lead.
Really the first error as far as a pitcher is concerned for the Bombers. They've only walked 1 hitter in this game. Peterson walked Robbie Carling.
Oh, look out again.
And now he's falling apart a little bit. Back-to-back hit batters. And the bases will be loaded now with nobody out.
Not sure. The umpire came out and talked to him. I'm not sure if he gave him a warning. Usually you hit 2 batters and that's it.
Obviously no intent here, though, in the CWL. And looks like Tom Vaith will look into his dugout and assign somebody down to the bullpen to start stretching and throwing. So Robbie Carling will come up with the bases loaded. The Power already lead it 2-0. They're looking to add to that score with the righty at the plate. Carling is 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout as he takes strike 1 from Peterson. Corners are in for the Bombers, but the middle will play halfway. So the Bombers not electing to go full infield in. They'll leave the 2 middle guys out halfway. Carling takes off speed down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like it's Kevin Curley warming up in the bullpen for the Bombers.
Curley, who has got his work already in early in this CWL. Peterson trying to get out of it, though, throws low in the dirt, and Felix Aberrett uses his chest protector to keep it in front. 2 balls and a strike. Peterson was able to work out of a runners in scoring position jam back in the 4th. Went 1-2-3 last inning and in a jam here as this ball is tapped foul. A big leadoff double by Marcus Page to set the tone of the inning. Power still with just 4 hits as a team, but they've been efficient in their manner of getting around the bases as a 2-2 comes in and grounded through the left side. Picked up in left by Schneider. 1 run across as everybody moves up 1 base on the single off the bat of Carling, who gets an RBI. Score is now 3-0 in favor of the home team, the Power, who extend their lead, and Tom Vaith has probably seen enough of Peterson as he comes out to the mound.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be Kevin Curley. He sends Peterson back onto the mound. It doesn't look like he'll just take him out yet. It looks like he'll just have a few words with him before he keeps going any further.
Suppose that would make sense given that Curley just got down to the pen and he's just now throwing out of the stretch. So Vaith looking to take a long meeting here to allow Curley some extra warm-up tosses down there. Certainly taking his time in talking to Peterson on the mound. Probably just letting him know, hey, if you can get me just 1 or 2 outs here, well, really preferably just 1. A double play would be icing on the cake.
Yeah, Vaith, the manager for the Washington Wild Things, using some tactics as a manager to give, like you said, Curley some extra pitches and maybe a little bit more confidence in Peterson as he goes back to work. No outs and the bases are loaded.
Working hard behind the dish is Aberrett, who scoots over on a slide to his knees. 1 ball, no strikes. The hitter is Ronnie Keaton. He's 0 for 2. He reached on the error his last time. That error would score 2 runs for the Power, who lead it 3-0. Taps this ball foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peterson takes his time walking back out to the mound. Shallow depth all around for the outfielders for the Bombers. Corners in on the infield with the middle playing halfway. Keaton takes outside. 2 balls and a strike. Finds himself in a hitter's count.
Keaton 0 for 2, wanting to help his team out here. Base hit, base knock. Be beneficial to him and his line. He reached out an error last time and grounded out to the second baseman his first time around.
Peterson has lost his sense for the zone as he misses inside. He's now missed on both sides of the plate. And here's a pitch to Keaton and outside ball 4. So Keaton will actually get an RBI on the walk. And the Power now lead at 4-0 as the floodgates begin to open up here in the bottom half of the 6th.
The Bombers manager Vaith walking down to the bullpen, not going to take Peterson out yet. He did make the motion and wrap it up quickly, but he's actually walking all the way down to the bullpen to talk to Curley.
Yeah, hard to relay messages here with limited coaching staffs. In a normal situation, you'd have a pitching coach down there to really give you the thumbs up, thumbs down. California Winter League, these managers have a full plate on their hands, doing a little bit of everything. This ball is ripped off of the glove of the third baseman Caulfield into left field. Now Schneider mishandles it. 2 runs are going to come across here on a base hit by Josh Jubilee, who hunts the first pitch in the at-bat. A line drive single into left field. 2 more runs across, and the score will now be 6-0. The Power in favor. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Tom Vaith is going to come out to the mound, and he is going to take the ball away from Peterson. His day is done. Power are doing some damage here in the bottom half of the 6th. We'll take a brief break with the pitching change, and we'll be right back as the Power look to extend this inning even further. Back here in Palm Springs, Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda. The Power with 4 runs so far here in the 6th. They lead it 6-0 on 6 base hits. A new pitcher on the mound for the Bombers. It's Kevin Curley. And now at the feet of Aberrett, who couldn't find it momentarily and now picks it up. 1 ball and no strikes to the hitter Andrew Gayton, who is 0 for 2. A big 2 RBI single by Jubilee before we took the quick pitching change break. As Curley now works out of the stretch. The big righty deals, and late on the fastball is Gayton, who spits it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curley, the right-hander from Clinton, Massachusetts. He's played previously in the Empire League. First team all-conference at Nichols College. Deals outside on a ball. 2 balls and a strike to the lefty Gayton, who hits with Jubilee at first and Ronnie Keaton at second. 6-run lead for the Power, who have really opened it up here in the 6th. In what has mostly been a pitcher's duel of a game. USADO got the start for the Bombers, who went 2 innings. He went 1, 2, 3 in both the innings that he pitched. Peterson now able to go through just 2 innings, was unable to get out of this frame. As this ball is lifted down the line and foul, slicing away from Griffin Schneider, the left fielder, over towards the Lumberjacks, who are getting their early hacks in before their game later this afternoon. They'll take on the Canada A's. The A's are a winless squad. The Jacks are also 2-1. 4 teams coming into this day 2-1. Curley set, looks back at second, and now deals home on a ball low in the zone.
Kevin Curley comes in with only 2 innings pitched, but he's got 5 strikeouts. So he's definitely a guy that can shut the door, especially now that there's runners on first and second and no outs.
Searching for any way of getting a guy out. This ball is down the line, hooking just barely foul. That had extra bases written all over it for Gayton. Just a little out in front. It'll be Jake Lucci after Gayton, who's always a threat to keep an inning alive. Right fielder Dre Jones now shifting around after that ball was pulled. This ball pulled on the ground into right field towards Dre Jones. Rounding third and trying to score will be Keaton, who scores easily. The throw came in late and was cut off. And the Power add to their lead now. It's going to be 7-0. 1 run scored there on the RBI base hit by Gayton. And now a 5-run 6th inning. So Keaton scores, Jubilee up to second, and Lucci will try to continue the inning. Ball 1 outside. Lucci is 0 for 2. We've mentioned his ability to get on base, though, earlier in the ball game. As the Bombers really have just had no answer as of late here, Andres.
Yeah, they're putting their faith into Kevin Curley. That's the first base hit Kevin's given up this entire time that he's pitched in the California Winter League, but that run will go to the previous pitcher for the Bombers, that being, I gotta get my score sheet here, but that being Max Peterson.
We get an exit velocity of 95 miles per hour. off of the bat of Andrew Gayton, who smoked that ball into right field. 7 runs on 7 hits for the Power. A 1-2 outside on the sinker from Curley. Somebody getting their jog on in the outfield, running poles.
We've seen that a lot. You'll see 1 or 2 guys running the warning track during the game. Calling the game with Josh Sperber. You'll hear him later this afternoon. Just guys walking in the warning track. We haven't seen any issues with it yet, but...
yes, I remember my days of running poles while a game is going on.
Usually you do that on the outside part of the field.
You get that funny feeling that you're like, hey, I guess I could obstruct into this game, but I'd prefer not to.
Yeah, preferably. Look out. Coming right at us if it wasn't for that netting there.
Lucci fouls it straight back. Just a brisk jog. Although in today's game, a lot of the old methods, or quote-unquote old methods, I would say, are trying to be really debunked by all the science that's now in the game.
Yeah.
A lot of managers, pitching coaches, I kind of quote, in quotations, old way of thinking. It's not necessarily an old way of thinking. Guys will still do it, but what was traditionally recommended was guys to always get the lactic acid out by jogging and keeping the legs fresh.
We just didn't take a walk here.
Lucci will take the free pass, and they will roll the inning over. So, on that note, the Power score another 5 runs here in the 6th. They lead it 7-0 as we head to the 7th. The last chance for the Bombers in the top half. Keep it right here. You're listening to California Winter League Baseball. Back in Palm Springs, Mitch Lessner alongside Andres Tejeda. 7-0 the score in favor of the Palm Springs Power. It'll be the Bombers to bat here in the top of the 7th, just trying to stay alive. The lead man will be Griffin Schneider, who takes strike 1 from Espedia, still on the mound for the Power.
Yeah, for the Bombers, Max Peterson's night will be done as the book officially closes. It'll be 3 innings pitched on 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 of those earned, 1 strikeout, and 2 walks, and they just could not get an out in that inning. Just a tough inning for the Bombers, and the Powers took a huge advantage there.
Things looked really sharp for the Bombers to start out the game. A trio of 1, 2, 3 innings in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. complemented with 4 strikeouts over that span. But since the third, no strikeouts and 7 hits to give the Power their 7 runs. Check swing and keeping the hands back is Schneider, who is 0 for 2 at the plate.
Even that check swing, he could have gotten a piece of it. It was a high pitch, and the bat just nearly missed it.
Schneider came into this game with 7 hits. This time he hits it in the air high towards the right side. Calling off everybody over there is Gavin Johns, who makes the play for the first out. So Schneider finally cools off, takes an ice bath in this game. His bat was red hot coming into this game, but he's 0 for 3 so far. And the Bombers are down to their last 2 outs.
Yeah, it's funny. Schneider started off the Winter League in his first game 0 for 3, and then went 3 for 3 in game 2, 4 for 4 in game 3, and 0 for 3 here in game 4.
Clifford Prod into left field on the slide. It's Jake Lucci to make the web jump play. Moving to his left, going to the slide, and he makes it look easy for the second out. Instead of electing to go face first, he goes feet first for safety. And quickly 2 up and 2 down here, top of the 7th.
So that pinch hitter here, Tyler Ryan's going to come in for his first at-bat.
So Tyler Ryan, the righty, will try to keep things alive for the Bomber, who are down to their last out. The Power looking to cruise to a victory here after a pitcher's duel for the first 3 innings. The Power really turned on the light switch, really came alive. Here's a foul tip into the mitt for strike 2. And they did not look back after that 4th inning, adding 5 insurance runs in the 6th. 7-0 is our score. They're looking to shut out the Bombers.
They're down to their last strike as well.
This pitch in the dirt. The Power have already shut out another team so far in the Winter League. That was back on Saturday. They shut out the Lumberjacks, who will be in our second game of action here in Palm Springs. 2-strike pitch, swung on and missed. That'll do it. The Power are going to win this ball game fairly easily. 7-0 will be the final. Espedia strikes out Tyler Ryan to end the ball game. The Power get 7 runs on 7 hits, and they shut out the Bombers, who get no runs on 5 hits. A pitcher's duel to start out this game, Andres, but the Power really coming alive in the 4th to come away with the victory here today.
Yeah, Sato will take the loss, and Bryce Foster will get the win. But just a great pitching. That was the story today. Pitching for the Palm Springs Power. Bryce Foster goes 5 innings, only allowing 4 hits on 3 strikeouts, and Espedia closes the door with allowing only 1 hit and 3 strikeouts, as you saw right there, the last one, and 1 walk. The Bombers, unfortunately, Max Peterson couldn't get it done for him, and unfortunately, it was too wide of a gap to do in 3 outs, and that's something that I'm sure Coach Waith is going to talk to the Bombers about moving forward.
The Bombers did have 5 hits in the ball game, but all of them singles. No extra base hits for them. 3 singles in the 4th to give the Power their 2 runs to kickstart everything off, and then they really opened it up in the 6th. A leadoff double by Marcus Page. He would come around and score 1 of 5 runs in that inning. Another single by Robbie Carling later in that inning, paired by 2 more singles as the Power would pour it on. Again, 7-0 your final. Keep it right here as we will get game 2 going, if I had to guess, probably around 12:30. That'll be between the Canada A's, who are 0-3 against the Lumberjacks, who are 2-1. And Andres Tejeda and Josh Sperber will have your call in that one. For Mitch Glesser and Andres Tejeda, we'll say so long here in Game 1. Keep it right here in about 30 minutes for Game 2 for more California Winter League action.